Hey, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to talk about installing a new fan, ceiling fan, which is Sofucor 52-inch smart fan. I chose this mainly because of high CFM. That's like a 6500 CFM rated. And my old fan is much low and it's really bad. That's why I went up with this. In fact, I already had one Sofucor in another room, which is 4500 CFM, which is beautiful. I love that. It's been running smoothly for more than a year. And this is my second Sofucor. This I'm just showcasing, unboxing the stuff. As usual, they pack it very neatly and nicely. Everything came in the shipment smoothly, no issues, no damages. And I just opened up everything and checked all the components. Typically, this has comparatively, if you see old fans, this has much less components. There's a base plate which you hook up onto the top of the ceiling, and then there is a motor, DC motor. You insert that, you mount it, and then put a casing on top of it. And underneath, you have the other components. So now I'm showing the uninstallation. But before you do anything with any electrical stuff, first make sure you shut off your power supply, either at circuit breaker or main fuse, just to be safe. Even though you switch it off, it's not safe enough. There are other lines usually keep alive, apart from the hot ones. So make sure you shut down everything before you touch. So this was my old Dero fan, which is a 43-inch wingspan, I think. That's why it is not covering, and also design looks beautiful. The light, I picked up this because my room was 10 by 12. I thought this should be sufficient. My main need was like a powerful light. So this had a powerful light at the time. It's like an year and a half before like I did it. I had no complaints except the airflow. This doesn't cover anything. I mean, it barely blows below itself, not even like 2 feet or 1 feet side. So I was totally disappointed with that, but I somehow thought, okay, I can manage. But like peak summer is brutal, especially my office room is in upstairs, and it gets really hot in summer. Pennsylvania summers initially like July August time frame. So this time I thought, okay, let's change the fan altogether. Maybe I'll reuse this fan above the dining table, and I think that should be sufficient for a dining table size. That's all it can do. So I picked up this new Sofucor 52-inch smart fan. As I said, right, I already had another 52-inch in my another bedroom. That one is beautiful. It is rated 4,500 or 5,000 CFM. That itself was enough, but like I saw this is 6,500 CFM. I got tempted onto the new model. And frankly speaking, if you go to Amazon or even the Sofucor site, there's so many varieties of model, you get confused which is which. So make sure you pick what you need, go through the specs. Just don't go by the look and feel. They all look alike, but there are fans exactly what it looks like with the one I picked up, but they are rated for 4,500 CFM. And there are some which are like 5,000 odd CFM. So all those things, make sure you pick up the right fan, what you need. And in my perspective, always go for the high CFM because fan is meant for flowing or blowing air, and more air is good. And it doesn't mean that it, especially these ceiling fans, DC motor ones, right? They're super silent compared to the older AC ceiling fans. And so the speed or the airflow, I don't think it affects the sound or noise it produces that much. I mean, at least I'm comparing my current 4,500 CFM or 5,000 CFM old Sofucor with I'm recording audio after the video of the installation, so I can watch that the new fan, which is 6,500 CFM, is super silent. I mean, I don't see any difference in the noise level. even at the highest speed. But I feel bit more airflow compared to the 5000 CFM. So that's all I can say. So now I'm starting the installation. I remove the old one. You start with the base plate. You mount it to the actual the cup, which is mounted into the stud on the ceiling, which was already there for my old fan. But if you're doing replacing, like there was a light and then you want to replace with a fan with a light, make sure your cup is rated for ceiling fans. Usually the lights cup, they don't have that rating. So make sure, otherwise you have to replace that and install that cup. There are videos and tutorials on how to do that on YouTube, and other content creators have created nice help guides how to do those things. Thanks to them, you can follow those for that. But yeah, here you just install the base plate to the cup, mount it, and you next step is one thing I need to say here with this particular model. I felt it's little difficult compared to the older one, the last year model, where in the last year model I was able to build the entire fan on the table itself before I mounting it onto the ceiling. That means the motor and the casing all came together. You just install the blades and hook it up to the top base plate. That's it. But here, the casing is kind of independent. I don't think even their install guide says you do it on the ceiling itself, everything. So right now I install the base plate. I still need to thread it in totally. After that, you put the DC motor. To start that, you there is a hook. Actually, there is a hook and a wire on the DC motor also, and that can be hooked up to the base plate hook just for hanging, and then you can put up all your connections with the receiver. So just to keep in mind, black is hot usually. White is I don't know what it is called. You basically use black and white, and green is basically from the base plate. You see it's a ground. Anywhere you see a green or a plain copper, they are ground. And red, in my case, I had my very old fan has a light. So the older fan, like older days fans, have a separate line, power lines for light as well as the fan itself. So if you look at the your like switches, there are two switches usually for light and one for fan. But this is a smart fan. The newer versions, like most recent fans, are all coming up with a LED light. You don't usually use the direct light for the red. I mean, in my case, it's red. Whatever the wire you get for the light. So you just tap it with a wire nut so that it doesn't touch anywhere, any metal or anything, just to safeguard. And once I have this base plate installed, you'll see that like I'm going to mount the DC motor. I had a helping hand because it's a little heavy, and certain places if you have, I mean, one person can do it, but if you have one extra hand, a pair of hands, that is great help. Certain situations like lifting up this heavy motor and also aligning the fan blades later, you can see. So those situations are useful. And yeah, let's you please continue to watch. One thing, the points I want to highlight is like make sure you connect your receivers black and white to black and white of your the wall, the wire from the wall, the original ceiling fans wire. And if there is a third wire, which usually if there are old phone fans which has a light, you don't have to use it with these newer versions of fans. And the receiver has a ready connecting pluggable connectors to the DC motors, so you don't have to worry how do you connect the DC motor. So all you need to is align. There are two lines going, one for the motor, one for the light LED. So I think that the receiver has a step down, whatever the transformer or something, so it will give the appropriate wattage to the fan and the LEDs. You don't have to worry anything about that. Um, so this is the wire I was talking. You can hang the DC motor initially while you're putting up the wire and like the receiver connection and all, and then you have to lift it up and screw it in. That's also a little bit tedious, like I aligning it inside the base plate. And once you're done with that, then you put up the case. You saw it initial parts description, right? There is a case, round case. You raise it and just rotate and lock it. There's no screws or anything for the case. If you see the slots on the base plate, it will lock into place with those latches. And after the putting the casing, then you mount all the blades. In my case, these are ABS blades. You just need to align a bit, and they fit flush. You just like the first one is little difficult because the both the screws, because it's a rotating and you're looking upside down towards the ceiling. So once you put the first blade, second, third is much easier. And once you have the blade installed, and there's another plate comes up, basically to mount your LED panel, which is a light panel. And you can, it's self-explanatory. If you look at the components, it's no big deal in that. You just screw it in, and then there's a central wire coming out of your DC motor. If you see, right, that white wire right now, so that connects to the LED panel. There's a plug and play a slot. I don't know what exactly they're called in electrical engineering, but like the slot just plugs into the LED panel. And then after that, you can put that the plastic casing for the LED panel, which looks like a light from outside. So that's what about it. And if you have any questions, please put your comments in my description, or like in my YouTube comment section, and I'll try to answer as soon as possible. And maybe whatever I know based on my experience, I can give you more inputs. That's what it's about. It's just a DIY thing. I thought it might help people. Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for watching. Please, if you want, you can slow it down. I a little bit made it faster so that long video can be short to see how easily you can do it. Good luck with your new install. And just coming back to the review of this fan. Right now, I'm recording while the fan is running. I hope there's no sound because I myself can't hear any sound. It is so silent. And the lights has three shades: warm, sunny, or like a daylight, and there's another like you can change the shades and the intensity of the light, LED light. And fan is 6 speed, and also you can do it forward direction and reverse direction. Like in the winter time, you can blow it down. The hot air coming up, you can blow it down. That's the idea of that. And it has a timer. And also, I haven't fully tested all the features. One feature it says, for example, if you had left a light on and then you switch it off, then when you come back, it will remember and it will switch back the light on. Those kind of small features are helpful. And the app, it uses smart things. I think the regular Samsung app, I probably. It is super easy to integrate. I didn't have to do anything. I just opened the app and it detected on my network this fan is already running. I had to add it, and then Alexa picked it up. I use Alexa all across my home. Literally, I didn't have to do anything. It is seamless integration with the app as well as Alexa. And right now it is beautifully working with Alexa. But the previous Dero was also Alexa enabled, but it was a little glitchy. That means I couldn't ever able to switch on, switch off the light independent of fan in that. But in this, I was surprised and happy that I can easily Alexa detected two devices, fan and light, and I can independently run them. That's a good plus for me. because in winter time I usually don't use fan, I just use the light. So that's where the thing with Alexa. And also, you see, the another clumsy thing about this design is you installing the receiver, right? The many wires come up and there's not much of space to squeeze the receiver. It says the document or the description or the manual shows that you can squeeze the receiver box in that the what do you call DC motors, the connector, the bracket. But for me, I couldn't uh, push it through at all because there is a center nut blocking. I don't know how their video help shows that it has been showed inside. I just couldn't, so I had to put it in horizontal. You'll see I took a photo just to showcase that. Horizontally squeezed it in and put the case. And other thing was like my initial install, I left there's the antenna wire coming out. So I thought, okay, keep it open. So why squeeze it in or inside the bracket? But incidentally, what happened is I didn't test it. So make sure once before you putting the case, put the rotation by hand and make sure there is no wire touching, no sound coming. For me, what happened, I installed everything and then I started getting this small click, click, click sound. I got so annoyed, then I had to like again open up from blade to the casing, and then incidentally the antenna wire was touching the rim of the fan rotatory base on the top, so it was making noise. So I tucked all the. I mean, I used the cable ties. Yeah, it's better to use the cable ties before you tuck in everything inside to the bracket. And I remounted everything, and it works flawlessly. So in that way, those are the points you need to consider. Use the cable ties and make sure all your connections with the wire nut are super tight. You can do a light pull test and make sure you don't have any wires exposed. Either use a electrical tape to cover or cut short the wire before you put it in the wire nut so that no copper is exposed outside, because it's a metal body. You don't want to get electrical hazards with that. So that's a top advice on the install. Everything else is easy in that way. It took me unmounting old fan and mounting this about 2 hours, mainly because the second time I had to open it twice to like that antenna wire sound. So I think it took some extra time. Otherwise, you can do it like in 2 hours easily. I mean, less than 2 hours. What I meant is, yeah, that's about it. Keep watch it till the end of this video. If you have any doubts, reach out to me on the YouTube comments. Thank you. Adios. Keep watching. More to come.